Hello friends, in this video we will do discussion on organizing. Organizing is a function of management which comes after planning. It synchronizes and combines human, physical and financial resources. Organizing function establishes authority relationships in the organizational structure. It is a process of identifying and grouping of work to be performed, defined and delegating authority and responsibility, and establishing relationships. Now, the question comes why organizing is important. Organizing is required as it brings specialization. Organizing functions define the organizational structure, which is a network of superior subordinate relationship and which divides the work into units and departments. This division is based on scientific studies which bring specialization. Then, organizing defines jobs. The purpose of organizational structure is to put the right men at the right job as per their qualifications. This brings job and role clarity among employees. Next one is it brings clarification in authority. As we know that organizing brings job clarity and this can be done when powers are assigned to every manager and they know how and when to use authority. This brings efficiency and improves productivity. Organizing is important as it brings coordination in the organization. The ultimate aim of organizing function is to bring coordination among different departments, and this can only be possible when an organization creates clear relationships and authority among individuals. An organizing function helps in better administration. When the organizational work is divided and defined clearly, when every employee in the organization knows their jobs, then it helps the top management to manage the organization in better way. This leads to better and effective administration. Then, organizing is essential for growth and diversification. Every organization wants to grow and diversify, and it depends totally on how an organization divides and manages its activities. When work is divided, jobs and roles are clear, and when authority is given, it brings in specialization and open the doors of growth and diversification. The organizing process includes the following steps. The first one is determination of objectives. Every organization is established for some goals or objectives. Various tasks are determined to achieve their goals. Determining the workload of the organization is the first step in the organizing process. The second step is division of activities. Since one person cannot manage all the activities, the total task is broken into smaller units and assigned to the pupil as per the qualification and ability. The third step is grouping of activities. After the work is assigned to pupil, those performing similar activities are grouped into one unit or department like production, marketing, finance. This process of dividing the entire organization into departments is called departmentalization. The next step of organizing process is defining authority and responsibility. After departmentalization, the responsibility of every department is given to a person to carry out the activities of the department. Every head has authority to get the work done from his members. These heads delegate some part of their authority and responsibility to members. This creates a senior subordinate relationship. The fifth step in organizing process is coordination of activities. When every department works for their objectives, they may develop conflicts with other departments, and these conflicts can be resolved through coordination so that departments share common resources optimally. The last step in organizing process is reviewing and reorganizing. The organizational structures should be regularly appraised so that necessary changes can be introduced to meet changes in the environment. Constant appraisal and reorganization is an integral part of an organizing process. This is a diagram highlighting the organizing process and its various steps and their interrelationships. The next topic of discussion is span of management, which is also called span of control and span of authority. It defines the number of subordinates who report directly to a manager. A span of management is required as it affects the optimum utilization of managers and their subordinates, and it helps in defining the organizational structure. There are various factors which affects the span of management, like capability of employees, capability of the boss, nature of the task, and the manager's support. Organizing involves developing organizational structure and chain of command within the company. Organizational structure is a network of relationships among all jobs at every level and in every department. It defines roles and hierarchical arrangements of different positions in an enterprise. There are various types of organizational structures, and the selection of a specific structure depends upon the nature, scale of operation, and the size of the business. The next topic is the types of organizational structures. The first type is line organization. It is the simplest and the oldest organizational structure. It resembles to an army administration. It is characterized by direct lines of authority flowing from top to bottom and lines of responsibility flowing in opposite but equally direct manner. The central idea behind the line organization is superior subordinate relationships. Functional organization divides the organization on the basis of various functions, and thus it follows the principle of specialization. In functional organization, each worker would receive his orders from a group of specialized managers, each of whom performs a particular function. The line and staff is a modification of line organization and is more complex than that. In this organization, specialized and supportive activities are attached to the line of command by appointing specialized staff. The ultimate power lies with the line managers, and specialized executives guides, advise, and counsel the line executives. The visual representation of organizational structure is called organizational chart. It gives a clear understanding to every person of his position in the organization. It clearly defines the authority, responsibility, and accountability structures in the organization. Functional organization is the one in which the organization is divided into various functions or departments, and all the people engaged in one activity are bring together under one department, and a manager is appointed to head that department. Divisional organization is the one in which the entire organization is divided into different divisions. These divisions work as a separate entity having its own goals, resources, and even customers. This structure is followed by large companies having multiple verticals. Division by geographical area is a type of organizational structure which divides the whole market into various areas, and a manager is important for each area. This structure is followed by those organizations who caters to a larger market which is widely dispersed. Matrix organization is a hybrid structure which includes the features of both functional and divisional structures. In matrix structure, an employee receives the instructions from two or more bosses depending upon the project. One instruction is given by a project head while another instruction is given by the functional head. The next topic is delegation of authority. A manager cannot perform all the tasks assigned to him due to time and other constraints. So, in order to complete the targets, he needs to transfer some part of their authority to his subordinates. This makes him free and focuses on core jobs and tasks. This transfer of authority to immediate subordinate by a manager is called delegation. The delegation has three elements, that is, authority, responsibility, and accountability. Authority can be defined as a right given to subordinate by a superior to take decisions and to give orders so as to achieve the organizational goals. The authority must be well defined and should enable the manager to work freely. Responsibility is the obligation of a subordinate to complete the tasks assigned to him. When a superior assigns some authority to a subordinate, he makes that person responsible for that job as well. That is, if a subordinate fails to complete that task, then he will be held responsible. The responsibility flows from bottom to top. Accountability is a liability created for the use of authority. Every employee is accountable for the job assigned to him. Accountability cannot be delegated. The top level management is most accountable. In short, it means being answerable for the end results. The last topic in organizing unit is centralization and decentralization. Centralization is a process wherein all the decision making power lies with few people who are usually at the top. In centralization, all the important and key decisions are taken at the top level, and the other levels should implement these decisions as per the direction of the top management. On the other hand, decentralization is a process of systematic delegation of authority at all the levels in the entire organization. In decentralization, the key rights to take few decisions are held by the top executive, and rest of the authority can be delegated to the middle and the lower level management. Decentralization is not same as delegation. In fact, it is the extension of the delegation. Delegation is a transfer of authority to the immediate lower level, whereas decentralization is a transfer of authority to the lowest level in the organization. Thus, decentralization has a wider scope as compared to the delegation. For suggestions and feedback, you can write us at usefulstudymaterial@gmail.com. And for more videos and regular updates, subscribe to our channel. Thank you.